Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Different video for you guys today. I've got a couple of makeup products here that I picked up at a Marshall's recently, and they're kind of interesting. One of them in particular, it's a brow product that I have never heard of before. It caught my attention. I brought it home. I did a little bit of research and found that this pencil's apparently, according to some of the reviews, been around for a while, and it had a whopping 33.5 thousand 5-star reviews. So I'm kind of like baffled by that, a little bit skeptical, wonder what's going on there. We're going to kind of dig into that a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about it, go through a couple of the reviews that I thought were kind of interesting, and of course test the product out. I also have an eyeshadow palette here, kind of a random one that I've never tried out this brand either, that I've seen floating around my Marshalls. We're going to talk about Marshalls in general, the makeup department of like Marshalls discount stores, and kind of like what's been happening there, at least at my local Marshalls over the last couple of years. Should be a fun kind of casual video. We'll create a makeup look, explore some of this interesting makeup, and see what we end up with on the other side. So I think it's going to be fun. Hopefully you guys are excited about it as well. Before we get to the video, special welcome to those of you that are new visitors here. Happy to have you here at my channel. I hope that you enjoy this video today. If you do, consider subscribing, make sure notifications are turned on. And with that said, let's get to it. Okay guys, so let's jump right into the mystery product that maybe I've piqued your interest with. I picked up this right here. It's from the brand $Billion Brows. It is a brow pencil, obviously. So the thing that caught my attention with this thing, first off, is the brand, which I'd never heard of before. But what company has like the guts to name themselves the $1 billion lipstick company or brow company? So it is a brand. They actually have another like sister brand or like sub brand called $1 Billion Beauty. Have you guys heard about this brand before? So I went online, I started looking at this brand, at some of their products, at the reviews for this specific brow pencil. And as I mentioned, this thing has 33,000 5-star perfect reviews. I mean, there are no like 4.5 stars, which makes me a little suspicious. I mean, I feel like there's something going on there. Like statistically, that just can't be possible. You know how you go into a website and like you're reading reviews and you have down in the review section, you have the little like bars of like how many 5 stars, how many 4 stars, how many 3 stars, how many 1 stars. Even on the best products, there's always at least 1 or 2 products that have 1 or 2 stars, maybe even 3. So the fact that this has none of those, they're all perfect 5 stars, and that there are 33,000 of them, I'm baffled by this. I feel like it's like a mystery that I want to solve. We're not really going to try and solve that today, but I just want to go through a couple of these reviews I thought were kind of interesting and funny. Most of them are pretty simple. They just say like, great pencil, lasts all day, easy to apply, love this brow pencil, highly recommend. But they sound like real reviews. Like I was wondering if these were like bot generated, but they sound like real reviews. I mean, they're all pretty like coherent, and some of them are long, some of them are short. This one says, I love this brow pencil. I get compliments all the time, which I think is strange. Have you ever had a compliment on your eyebrows? Maybe some of you have. I never, ever, ever have had someone say, wow, your eyebrows look so great today, which maybe is more of a comment on my brow skills or my actual eyebrows, but I thought that was kind of strange or interesting. I also found one here that said, this comment right here is pretty funny. It says, I have been using this pencil for the last 10 plus years and can't imagine using anything else. I don't have much of a natural eyebrow, so I have to draw them on, but this pencil is so smooth and stays on all day. Okay, that review was posted just a couple of months ago. Make that 1 month ago in June. So 10 years? Has this brow pencil been around for 10 years? I've got to be honest, you guys, I've kind of been under a rock for the last couple of years as far as like YouTube and the internet and social media, beauty community. Haven't been as involved as I previously was. Am I the only one that kind of went into hibernation around 2020 and just kind of like distanced myself from everything in the world? But prior to that, I was pretty involved in watching a ton of YouTube videos, and I haven't ever heard of this brand. Have you guys heard of it before? I did notice some of the reviews said that they got this in an Ipsy bag. I think one even said they got it in a BoxyCharm, so maybe that's part of the reason why I didn't hear about this before. Okay, here's a funny 5-star review. It just says, I love brow pencils. That's it. No period, no exclamation point, just I love brow pencils generally. Another funny one that's a little suspicious, my daughter used it. Again, no exclamation point, no period, just my daughter used it. That's it. Okay, one more here. I ordered these often. 7 exclamation points, and more than one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 exclamation points. By far the best eyebrow pencil. Okay, that's where all the punctuation from that previous review went. They all went into this comment. Anyways, so there are like dozens of pages of reviews of this thing. Of course, we're not going to go through them all today, but I'm curious. I'm very curious now. Are they like bot comments, or are these actual people that really have been loving this thing for 10 years? We're going to try it out today. So here's the box right here. Oh, and by the way, I got the $1 billion brow pencil for $4.99. So what a steal. So here's the pencil itself. Let's have a look at the top. So it is a mechanical pencil. It's kind of like wide. It's not a micro pencil, which it kind of reminds me of like the e.l.f. one, the original $2 e.l.f. pencil. It's a little bit on the larger size, so not as precise. But again, that one's pretty soft. I don't know how soft this one's going to be. Let's go ahead and give it a swatch on the back of my hand. Again, this is the universal one, so it's one universal shade. Oh, I did read one comment, which I forgot about, that said, great pencil for dark hair. I imagine if you have light hair, this color won't work for you, so that's pretty dark. This might be interesting. I might have some pretty dark brows today, but there's the swatch. I mean, that was a good, like, 3 swipes. Felt pretty soft, but not as soft as the e.l.f. one. Let's take a look at this spoolie. The spoolie's a little bit larger. I did read a couple comments specifically commenting on how much they loved the spoolie. I personally usually like a smaller, shorter hair, stiffer spoolie. I mean, this one's not bad though. It is really soft, but it's definitely grabbing the brow hairs. Not the worst I've ever tried. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in to the brow pencil. I don't even want to put any wax in my brows because I don't want to interrupt the $1 billion formula that we have going on here. So, oh gosh, yeah. I'm gonna have really dark brows today, you guys. From the swatch and just from initially how it's going in my brows, it's not like warm, which I'm glad. I really don't like really yellowy browns or red tone browns, but I wonder if this one's going to be a little almost purpley cool tone brown. So I'm trying to be really light-handed. It's pretty soft, like it's not super stiff, so probably not going to give you a real precise brow. Uh-oh, we got a crier coming down. She can't handle teasing from 3 brothers. Hey, what's wrong?
They didn't let me watch the movie.
Well, let's wait a little bit. They're getting their chores done. We'll turn it back on in a little bit.
No, he wants to play the Wii.
Well, tell him he needs to wait. Okay, so there is that side. It looks good. I mean, it's darker than usual, but it's not crazy dark. I was worried that it would get really, really dark. It's not bad. It looks good. $1 billion brow worthy. I don't know, that's quite the claim. I will say this about the color. If there was to be a color that would work for the most people out there, like this, it would be a color like this, because I feel like it's not super dark, but you could probably get this to be pretty dark if you wanted it to. So there are the brows. There are my $1 billion brows just with the pencil. Let's go ahead and set those down a little bit. So let's use go back to my ColourPop. I've kind of been into this again of late. So as I mentioned, I found this brand online, and they do have a $1 billion beauty brand where they sell, it looks like magnetic type makeup products where you like pick your own thing and you like make a magnetized self-made sort of palette that has like all the different things in it, that kind of a thing. I read through a couple of the reviews on there. I mean, I didn't dig too deeply into the website, so I don't want to like throw any shade on this brand that I really don't know anything about, but a few of the products didn't have any reviews, and then I noticed 1 or 2 products had like 1 2-star review. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I will post the link down below if you guys want to go dig into this brand. If I've piqued your curiosity, I'll link it down below for you guys. All right, I've got to say that my brows look nice. Performance-wise, it was pretty good. Nice and soft, but not overly soft. I feel like it was a little bit stiffer than the e.l.f. pencil, which I like that pencil because it's quick and easy to apply, but it is quite creamy. Like, that thing moves around a lot when you use the spoolie. This one I didn't feel like moved quite as much, but it wasn't as stiff as, say, like my Ulta Beauty or the Benefit brow pencil, which I think there are pros and cons to. I like a stiffer brow pencil because they're a little bit more controllable. You can be a little bit more precise with them, but they take a little bit longer to apply. Whereas pencils that are creamy, you can put those things in really, really quickly and have your brows done in a mere couple of seconds. But then you might sacrifice a little bit of the precision. So I feel like this was a good like middle of the road. I mean, it's not small, it's a little bit fatter of a pencil, but not too soft. So far, not a bad review. I don't know about the retail price. I think the retail price on this thing was $18, which I think that's a little steep. I'll have to see how this one wears before I can give my final thoughts on if I think this is worth like going out to an obscure website or to random Marshalls to try and get your hands on this, but we'll see. I'm gonna give it a chance. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the face. So let's start with the bronzer. Let's pick a summertime classic. I'm gonna take my Physicians Formula bronzer. I wanna apply it with my Sydney Grace brushes. I am loving these brushes, you guys. Loving them right now. They are fantastic. I think these actually go on sale today if I remember right, and I think you can get a discount on them. So that's just a quick update. I have been using them for about a week now. They're the only brushes that I've been using, and I'm really, really impressed with these. I am dying to hit pan in this thing. I feel like I've been subtly trying for the last couple of years to hit pan in this, or saying for the last like 2 years. I'm so close, and still I can't seem to do it. Gotta be honest though, I'm trying different bronzers out a lot, and I'm so into cream bronzers that I don't use powder bronzers as much as I feel like is required to actually hit pan in a product like this. I really would like to move on and try the newer packaging though. Mine is starting to lose its scent. All right, let's jump into blush. So I'm going to try the Gel Crush Flower Beauty Lip and Cheek in the shade Blackberry Crush. So I used this once the other day. I really loved the shade on this one. It is a little bit on the deeper side. I wouldn't say it's deep per se, but I just have to be a little bit more light-handed with this one than some of the other ones that are a little bit more sheer. So pretty though, such a pretty kind of berry toned shade if you missed the video where I tried these out and swatched them. So we're going to use the Sydney Grace small brush right here. I don't have my little printout here. I'll link the brushes that I'm using down below for you guys. This came in their face set. It's the smallest brush that comes in their face set. It is a little on the small side. I did use this with one of the other gel crushes the other day, and it's not as large as my favorite brush for cream cheek products. This one from Alter Ego. See the size difference? This one is the perfect size. I absolutely love this one. This one's a little bit smaller, so it doesn't quite cover or give me that like initial area of coverage that I like from the other one. It's not bad, but it wasn't as what I was hoping it would be with cream blushes. I'm gonna have to find another use for this one. It is soft, I will give it that. I think it's even softer than my Alter Ego one. It's just a little bit on the small side. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I do already have foundation and concealer on. Today I used my Beauty Blender Bounce foundation and my Peri Para double lasting concealer. Pretty. Okay, let's add some highlight. Ooh, what should I use for highlighter today? Let's pick something I haven't used for a while. Here we go. Okay, I have not used this for a while. This is from Flower Beauty as well. This is their highlighting palette. So I actually found this. I recently moved all my makeup. I have some of my new furniture that will be going in my new room shortly assembled, and I've kind of started to organize things. So while I was moving stuff around, I found this hiding in the back of a shelf, and I completely forgot about this. So we're going to use it today. This thing is very, very intense. Let's take a mix of these two outside shades right here, using again the Sydney Grace highlighter brush. Holy cow, look at that, you guys. Woo! This might be one of the most intense highlighters that I even own, if not the most intense highlighter that I own. I mean, I didn't even dip in that heavily. That is some serious shine. Put a little bit on my brow bones. You guys don't know how often I get comments, why do you put highlight down the center of your nose? Like, just a genuine question, like, what is the purpose of doing that? And I have no idea. I just love highlighter. Like, I think it looks so pretty. I like shiny things, including noses. I'm just going to take my sponge and just press that in so it looks a little bit more natural. Okay, now let's jump over to the eyeshadow palette. Okay, so this palette I found at my local Marshalls. So I've started going every couple of months with my mom again, and I've noticed that the Marshalls makeup aisle has slowly been shrinking and changing, and I wonder if they're like getting away from selling makeup at Marshalls, which I've got to be honest, I love finding makeup at Marshalls, but I get why some people are like, it's kind of weird, it's kind of gross, it's kind of messy. Like, a lot of times, depending on the store that you go to, things are a little bit chaotic in there. Like you'll have products that are like cracked and open everywhere, some stuff that looks brand new and untouched, and it's just kind of like a big disorganized mess. So in that sense, it doesn't surprise me if that is indeed what is kind of going on. Maybe it's just stock right now. There's not a lot of like makeup stock for Marshalls. I mean, who knows what is going on with everything going on in the world right now, but there was definitely slim pickings this time. But I did find this eyeshadow palette brand that I saw the last time I was in, I think, a TJ Maxx, and it's from the brand Cara Duo. Have you guys seen this brand before? They actually had a lot of different palettes there. They were $9.99 each for these larger palettes. I picked up the Cool Whatever smiley face emoji palette. Is that part of the title? Yes, it's on the back. Cool Whatever smiley face emoji. So let's have a look at it. Here is the palette itself. I really like this simple, like pretty, just like, I love this color. This is the color of like the walls in my house. Like a whitish grayish beige. So here it is. This is what it looks like inside. Very, very cool tone. Kind of giving me Stone Cold Fox vibes from ColourPop. Is that what that big palette's called? I don't actually own that one. But a lot of these palettes did kind of give me like the larger ColourPop palette vibes. Like they're a little bit larger, they have a lot of shades, but they're also not, like they look like smaller pans. Pretty looking palette though. We'll see how these shadows perform. Have you guys tried this brand out before? Is it only sold at TJ Maxx or Marshalls? I really don't know. I just saw it this last time and the time before, and it's barely been kind of catching my attention. It's not a brand that I think a lot of people really talk about, because generally Marshalls not everybody loves the Marshalls makeup scene. Let's just finger swatch a few of these before we jump in and try them out. So I'm just going to take a couple of these mattes. Not bad. Ooh, I love this shade. This is like a very slightly green toned gray, which you guys know. Those are the, oh my gosh. Okay, that does look a lot like the shade, like a lighter version of the green shade inside the Natasha Denona Retro palette, the mini retro, that I absolutely love. That's one of my favorite shades in my entire collection. Let's go with one of these deep browns. I like the range in here. Good amount of transition shades. Actually, not a lot of lighter tone mattes or shimmers. We'll see how these ones swatch, but here's a couple of mattes. Let's give these a swatch on the back of my hand. Okay, they don't look bad. Not too bad. Decent amount of pigment so far. Feel nice and soft. All right, let's try some of these shimmers. I gotta go with this lighter one. It looks like this is the lightest shimmer in the palette. Okay, nice and creamy. Let's just give that a quick swatch right here. Huh, not too shabby. Okay, maybe this will go better than I thought. Here's the silver. That is beautiful. Really nice metallic formula. It doesn't look like there's like a variety of formulas inside here, although this one down here looks like it might be like one of those, yeah, it's like a matte with a shimmer sparkle in it. It's really soft. Ooh, that is so pretty. Has a lot of sparkle in it. Let's swatch that one like right here. Let's try one more shimmer. Let's try one of these like mid-tone shimmers kind of over here. Let's go with this one right here. Sorry to blind you. Okay, oh, that is beautiful. Pretty, pretty taupe. Okay, let's take, I would take my watch off, but I have a horrible tan line that I really don't want to reveal to everyone. It's like a combination of an actual tan line and like a self-tan incident from like, if I put self-tanner on and then I put my watch on, and like the self-tanner under my watch just doesn't set properly, so I get these like patches of like self-tan disaster underneath. Anyways, that is beautiful. Love that shade right there. Okay, definitely gonna be doing something cool tone or whatever. Smiley face. Sorry. So I'm gonna take this brush first. This is the large blending brush right here. It's a little bit longer, really nice and soft and flexible. We're going to dip that one into this soft pink in this top row right here. I love these kind of dusty rose shades. One sec, let me give this crease a quick little smudge. Got a little bit of creasing on my eyelids. We're just going to run this up through the crease area. Okay, not a lot of pigment in that shade. Not as much as it looks. Looks in the pan like it would show up more than it just did, or a little darker than it just did. It's looking like it's like a pinker version of my actual skin tone color. So I feel like that showed up barely, so we'll probably have to go in with something else on top of it. Okay, yeah, that hardly showed up. at all on me. Let's try, let's go with this shade right here. This is like a gray. Actually, let's mix these two shades together. And then we're gonna run that right through the crease. A little more gray in tone than I was initially planning or hoping for, but that's okay. I do want to try and warm that up just a little bit, so I'm going to take this shade right here. Actually, let's take a mix of this one and this one, which is quite warm. I'm really hodgepodging it today, guys. That's okay. Curious to see what $10 can do, because even from, I mean, I'm not saying this is a dupe for ColourPop or anything. It just kind of reminded me of ColourPop as far as like the packaging and the color story and the size. But price range, this thing was $10, whereas the ColourPop palette of this size would probably be more in like the $30 range, right? Aren't those larger palettes around $30 or $36? All right, so I have to say, you guys, I already can tell. I mean, I'm dipping into these darker shades, and I feel like I'm not getting a lot of like nothing's, it's not changing the way my eyes look. Like, I feel like it should be doing something, especially that like warm brown. It's like not showing up. So pigment wise, the mattes so far, not very pigmented. I'm really layering these things up and not getting a lot out of them, unfortunately. Maybe there are still crappy eyeshadows out in the world. I kind of feel like most brands have figured it out. That's kind of a damning comment. Let's give them a chance, Mandy. Hang on to that comment for at least till the end of the video. Okay, so I'm going to take this little smudge brush. This, by the way, is the large shader brush. Okay, never would have guessed this was the large shader brush because it's quite small, but I do love this brush. It is $8. Great little brush, one of my favorites from the set. We're going to take this in this brown and this brown. We could probably throw in a little bit of pink as well. I don't know. We're just going to run this under the lower lash line. See what kind of pigment we can get down here. Seeing a little bit more of that warm brown down there, but not a lot. I mean, I really am packing this into this brush. Try and get some color out of it. Okay, let's take this brush right here. This is the crease blending brush. It's kind of like a fluffy, long, a little bit on the small side, soft blending brush. Let's dip into, oh boy, how cool do I want to go? I'm going to go with this warm brown right here. And we're going to start applying this to the outer corner. Okay. Not loving these, guys. I just gotta be honest. Things are looking muddy. Oh, I don't know. So we're gonna take that little smudge brush I used on my lower lash line. We're gonna dip into this more. Actually, let's dip into this shimmery one right here. It's kind of more of a black, which I don't often use, but maybe this formula will be a little bit better than some of these mattes have been so far. Not impressed with the mattes, you guys. They're just, the lighter ones are not pigmented enough, and the darker ones are just too powdery. Like, they just blend into obscurity. I don't know. Like, you couldn't do like a detailed eye look with these shadows, I don't think, because they just don't like stay put where you want them to. Okay, this is just getting worse. Oh boy. These mattes are no ColourPop mattes, I will say that. The palette might look like ColourPop. Spend a little extra money to get the ColourPop palettes. Their mattes are definitely better than what I'm experiencing so far. Sorry, Cara Beauty Cool whatever smiley face palette. Okay, so I think that's where we're gonna end with the mattes. Let's see if the shimmers, we can salvage something with these shimmers. So I really want to dip into this one. So it's kind of like a taupey mid-tone silver. We're gonna pop that on the outer half of the lid. Okay, that's really pretty. That shimmer is really beautiful. Maybe the shimmers will save the day after all. Okay, let's add a little bit of this shade, the lightest shade in the palette, this one in the top corner. And take my pinky. It's kind of like a very like champagne-y gold with a touch of like shell pink to it. So I'm starting to get vibes of like, I mean, shade vibes of the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. Quality is not, it's not where the Natasha Denona Glam Palette is, but the shimmers are definitely better. Like I'm feeling a little more hopeful with these shimmers for this eye look. Okay, so that is probably as good as it's gonna get for the eyes. Happy with the shimmers. Did not love the mattes. I mean, I'm not loving my outer corner work here. Feel like it's a little bit messy. Let's finish off the eye. Like I'm gonna add a little bit of liner. Let's take my Wet n Wild Simma Brown now liner. I'm just gonna add this to the lash line. Now I'm going to go add a couple coats of my Tony Moly mascara. Then we're going to finish off with the lips. We'll finish off with a couple of thoughts and then we will be all done for today. Alright guys, here are the finished eyes. Mascara saved the day. Oh, this mascara is so good. I need to get my hands, try and get my hands on a couple more of these tubes before they completely disappear from the face of the earth. As for the eyes, not my best look ever. I'm going to say, like, I'm not opposed to a cool tone look with the right shadows. This just looks like kind of a dark, muddy kind of mess. Just not that impressed with this. I was really hoping after kind of finger swatching some of these for a little bit better performance from this, but I've got to say, especially those mattes, they just did not perform very well. Granted, I didn't use all of them, but I dipped into a lot of them. Maybe that was the problem in the first place, but I feel like I was having the same problem with everyone that I applied. It either didn't have a lot of pigment to it, or just was not like depositing color where I wanted, or just kind of blending out to just kind of a muddy kind of mess. So now, I mean, this is the definition of like muddy shadows. These were just a little bit on the muddy side. They all just kind of like morphed together into this dark, smoky, non-defined kind of blob. That sounds a little harsh. I mean, they're not like the worst shadows I've tried, but they're not great. The shimmers were okay, but I definitely wouldn't buy this palette just for the shimmers. It was only 10 bucks. 35 shades for 10 bucks is a great deal. But I'm not very impressed with these mattes. I mean, maybe I'll try out this green that I was telling you guys I was very intrigued by, but I don't have very high hopes for it. They all just feel a little bit weak to me, so I would save your money, pass over, at least on this specific palette, the cool whatever smiley face emoji palette. Not super impressed. If I was comparing this to ColourPop, I'd say ColourPop performance-wise is like a solid 9. This performance-wise was more of like a 4.5 or 5, so not great. As for the brow pencil, $1 billion brow pencil, I like it. I mean, my brows look good today. There's nothing like revolutionary about this that I would assume something that had 33,000 perfect reviews would do. I would assume that would be like revolutionary. But that said, it's good. I don't think it's bad. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't spend $18 on this thing. If you do see this floating around your Marshalls or TJ Maxx, I wouldn't say don't pick it up. Like I'll use this. I would love to know how many of you guys have tried this out, because I know a lot of you guys have done or currently do Ipsy or BoxyCharm. So let me know if you guys ever came across this in your Ipsy or BoxyCharm or other makeup subscriptions. I will add this one to my list of things to come back and update you guys on. But so far, I'd say like on first impression, I'd give this a solid 8, 7.5. And I just realized I never did my lips. Let's throw something on my lips. This video is a little bit all over the place, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's take this. This is the NYX Beige lip liner. Let's do like a real good nude lip today. And then on top of that, let's take a little bit of this. This is my Ofra Samantha March Millie lip gloss. Really nice sparkly lip gloss. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my finger. I want to try and keep this nice and clean inside and just add that to the center. And that's the finished look. Very nice metallic lip. If you like metallic lips, this lip gloss will kind of give you that kind of metallic effect, but it's like sparkly metallic. I don't know. It's really cool. I really like this lip gloss. But that's going to do it for today, you guys. I hope this video was helpful or entertaining for you guys. Again, I'd love to know your thoughts on either of these brands. Have you tried them out before? Did they work better for you than they did for me? Let us know down in the comments below. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will be back with you guys soon. I have a new eyeshadow palette coming in. I know you guys might be tiring of eyeshadow palettes, but this one I'm really excited about. So that will be coming up shortly. Stay tuned for that and let that be a reminder to subscribe. Make sure those notifications are turned on. But that's going to do it for now. Thanks again, you guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye. I have to say, one of my greatest pet peeves, it's not even that it bothers me, it's almost like it's a compulsion for me. If a sticker is like half pulled off, I either have to have the sticker left on, but if you pull it off and it leaves like that half sticker kind of remnant where it's like not all the sticker is gone, I can't handle that. Like, I will get the Goo Gone out and make sure all of the sticker is gone, all the sticky stuff like this still has a little bit left. Like, I'm gonna have to fix that before I throw this in the garbage, because there's just something inside of me that cannot handle a half peeled off sticker. It's like nails on chalkboard to me.